are always copped over these. That's right. All persons having any business before this honourable court now draw nigh and give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Chief Justice, I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed as a judge of this court. I present my commission.
Thank you, Justice Rigg. Please be seated while the commission is read. Principal Registrar, would you read the commission to all assembled?
By Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beazley, Companion of the Order of Australia, King's Counsel, Governor of the State of New South Wales in the Commonwealth of Australia. To Belinda Jane Rigg, Barrister at Law, greeting. Whereas by the Supreme Court Act 1970, it is enacted that the Governor may, by commission under the public seal of the state, appoint any qualified person to be a judge of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Now I, the Honourable Margaret Beazley, AC, KC, the Governor aforesaid, in pursuance of the power and authority vested in me in that behalf, do, with the advice of the Executive Council of New South Wales, hereby appoint you, the said Belinda Jane Rigg, being a person qualified to be so appointed, to be a judge of the said court on and from the 24th day of July 2024, with rank and precedence as such in the said court and in the aforesaid state, next after the Honourable Justice Timothy Michael Faulkner, one of the judges thereof, provided always that you shall, except in case of leave of absence duly granted to you, actually execute the office to which you are by this commission appointed, given under my hand and the public seal of the state, this 19th day of June 2024, Margaret Beazley, Governor. By Her Excellency's command, Michael Daly, Attorney General.
Thank you. Acting Principal Registrar, do you have the form containing the affirmations? Thank you. Justice Rigg, I now ask you to stand to take the affirmations. First, the affirmation of allegiance and then the judicial affirmation.
I, Belinda Jane Rigg, do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law. I, Belinda Jane Rigg, do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will well and truly serve our Sovereign Lord King Charles III in the office of a judge of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and I will do right to all manner of people after the laws and usages of the State of New South Wales without fear or favour, affection or ill will.
Thank you, Justice Rigg. I invite you to resume your seat and to subscribe to the affirmations, and I will attest them.
Oh, sorry.
Principal Registrar, I hand you the affirmations to be placed amongst the court's archives. Justice Rigg, on my own behalf, on behalf of your new colleagues on this bench of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, I congratulate you on your appointment and welcome you to judicial life. You're someone who has already done huge public service, as we will hear, over decades in this state, and now you open a new chapter of that public service, and your appointment has been very warmly welcomed. So welcome to the court.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
Mr. Attorney.
Thank you, Chief Justice. May it please the Court, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and future, and I acknowledge our Aboriginal colleagues and friends that might be with us this morning. Thank you, Your Honour, for the invitation to address the Court this morning. Your Honour, Justice Rigg, on behalf of the Bar of the people of New South Wales, congratulations on your appointment to this esteemed court. Thank you for your service, your continuation, as the Chief Justice has said, your continuation of your public service. Today you become a judge of this esteemed court in the year of its 200th anniversary. I welcome your partner, His Honour Judge Peter Whitford, SC, your children Leo and Luciana, their father Richard Pontello, SC, and Peter's daughter Chloe. Joining us here today, your proud parents, Lindy and Andy Rigg, your sister Katie and brother Tim. They sit alongside other family members, and we also have numerous friends and colleagues here in person and watching online. I'd like to thank the people who have contributed to these addresses today and for painting a picture of your esteemed legal life to date. Your Honour, you're the first child of Lindy, a homemaker, and Andy, a geologist. The family of three quickly became five when you were joined by younger siblings and you settled in Wahroonga. You've said it was a very loving home and upbringing. Family time was important and hugely rewarding. You delighted in the company of your extended family, including your grandparents. You described yourself as a happy child. You say you were always well behaved, never mischievous, never got into trouble. We believe you. Your mother Lindy has said that you're an absolute delight as a youngster. No doubt, Your Honour, a few envious parents here today will be asking Lindy and Andy for a few tips over a cup of tea on how to raise a well-behaved child who went on to become such a high achiever. Lindy well remembers your happy laugh growing up. She admired your calmness because it was the opposite of her feistiness. The only time you raised your voice, I'm told, was in defence of your siblings, defending even then. You enjoyed reading and loved working on craft projects with Katie. You also loved school. Primary education was at Our Lady of the Rosary in Waitara, where you enjoyed the wonderful environment created by the nuns who taught you. Secondary education was at Roseville College. It was here that your passion for public speaking was realised, and you were active in drama, debating and mock trials. English, maths and science were favourite subjects, alongside a keen interest in humanities. Early on at school, you thought you might like to become an English teacher, but you had this inherent interest in basic fairness and social justice, and the idea of law grew stronger. You changed your mind on becoming a teacher and decided to focus on the law. And focus you did. You had a clear plan. You wanted to become a barrister. You commenced an arts law degree at the University of Sydney in 1991, and you enjoyed it. You were excited by the steep learning curve and you worked hard. You combined your studies with working as a research assistant at Gordon and Johnston's Solicitors. On graduating in 1995, you worked as a freelance research assistant for several barristers in Sydney. This freelance work soon segued into a permanent research role with Anthony Belinda, KC, one of the most experienced criminal defence barristers in Australia and one who specialises in complex criminal cases. Mr. Belinda is here today. And I'd like to thank you, Mr. Belinda, on behalf of the people of New South Wales, for the gift of your early guidance that set Her Honour on this path. As the Chief Justice said, you've had a long and distinguished work career, and in the interest of brevity and to not duplicate with my friend, I'll leave it to Mr. McGrath to speak about some of the highlights of your work life to date. Your Honour, while you love everything about the law and its importance to those who frequently have no voice in our society, your first love is your family. Leo and Luciana are your world. You strive to ensure that they are happy and safe. I know you're thankful to have a capable co-parent in Richard. Peter is grateful for the grace and support shown to Chloe. They love being part of this blended family. You and the kids feel the same. You're a devoted daughter, a loving mother and sister, a dedicated aunt. And there's nothing you love more than having a big family lunch or dinner. You like to cook. You still read, you still like to read, but have little time to read for pleasure. But what is non-negotiable is your enjoyment of nature. You love it and you never miss a chance for a walk. This is where your family are usually witness to your brain calmly working overtime on case theory. While walking, they watch you silently mouthing speeches and presentations to the court, preparing propositions and moving the index finger around to emphasise a point. The kids have dubbed them your gun fingers. And they know that when the guns are out, you're lost in a subconscious preparation. Your mum doesn't know how you find the time for everyone and everything. This even extends to having strange dogs in the house when helping Tim with his fostering. But you always find the time. Your family and friends truly appreciate it. They appreciate you. They and many others are eagerly anticipating you joining the Supreme Court of New South Wales. They know you will make a significant contribution. Your mother puts it quite bluntly. She says Belinda was born for it because she gives a damn. Peter believes your strengths will shine brightly. Your powerful intellect and deep understanding of criminal principles will be highly valuable. He and others know you'll find great fulfilment and distinguish yourself in trial work. Ensuring fairness and efficiency in every criminal trial is ingrained in your DNA. Colleagues have said that you're destined to excel as a judge. And I was remarking to one this morning that even though you've been an accomplished legal practitioner for a very long time, you'll have this almost, we have a very respectful and reserved demeanour that I describe as almost shy at times. Your colleague's comment in reply was, "Don't worry, there's an iron fist in that velvet glove." Nevertheless, your kindness and compassion are evident. This is complemented by your profound knowledge of the criminal law. Your extensive experience is both astonishing and inspiring. Your work ethic is unwavering. We all know that you will embrace this new role wholeheartedly. In the context of your appointment today, I recall what I said about this court back in May when I stood here and spoke on the occasion of its 200th anniversary. I said the Supreme Court has served the people of New South Wales tirelessly and with integrity for 2 centuries. It is recognised as one of the great common law courts of the world and deserves its reputation as the constant guardian of the rule of law in New South Wales. The Supreme Court of New South Wales continues to be at the heart of many complex issues of our time. And today, Your Honour, I say that your life, your family and your career show that you are ideally suited to sit in judgment on the complex issues of our time, and to join more than 50 colleagues who ensure that this court remains the constant guardian of the rule of law in this state. I'll leave the last words to you, Your Honour. You said that this job will be good for you. You then added that you'll be good for this job, and so you will. Your Honour, we agree. Thank you for your service. Congratulations on your appointment and good luck in your new career. May it please the court.
Mr. McGrath on behalf of the Law Society of New South Wales.
May it please the court. I too acknowledge the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, the traditional owners of the land on which this court stands, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I acknowledge and extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are with us today. Justice Rigg, I would like to acknowledge your family, Your Honour's family, friends and colleagues, and all distinguished guests in attendance today. I am delighted to be here representing the Solicitors of New South Wales, and I'm particularly delighted to congratulate Your Honour on this appointment and the immense work that has brought you here. Your Honour comes to this bench with a professional history that is unique in New South Wales. One all the more remarkable for being built without ego, despite tremendous responsibility in many difficult matters. The view of the profession is admiration and deep appreciation for what Your Honour has contributed to our society. Not only have you created an outstanding team of public defenders in New South Wales under your groundbreaking watch, but your legal career has been one of remarkable ability from a young age. Your Honour came to the bar after completing your professional legal training aged just 24. Within 5 years, while still in your 20s, you rose from arguing over the safety of making right-hand turns on behalf of the NRMA to murder trials. During this time, there was the political assassination trial of the killing of the late John Newman, in which Your Honour appeared. And before 30, Your Honour appeared unled in serious trials and in the Court of Criminal Appeal. All of this before becoming silk. To say this is unusual in a legal career is an understatement. Of course, there were some earlier bumps. Once, as a teenager, Your Honour said you read about the golden thread of proof in criminal matters. Excited, you decided to reference Wilmington in your mock trials. It would have been a good move had it not been for the fact that it was a civil hearing. Even your lovely coach, a suburban solicitor, did not share your enthusiasm over the results. As far as our researchers could ascertain, this was the only time your passion ever outstripped the legal point at hand. But a strong desire to effect justice in a practical way was key to leading Your Honour into criminal law. A concern with fair hearings and balanced, nuanced legal representation has remained constant with Your Honour to this day. And here, Your Honour has been whatever the superlative for most outstanding is, or as one public defender said, Your Honour redefined their understanding of what a public defender can be. This public defender noted Your Honour as the brightest person amongst many bright minds that they have had the pleasure of knowing. An unparalleled memory was how one solicitor put it. This echo is part of a chorus across the legal profession. One barrister said that they were originally drawn to applying for a public defender role because of Your Honour. It was your ability, both personally and professionally, that helped draw several top legal minds to the role. In a different vein, I was also reliably informed from one colleague at the bar that IT remains one opponent Your Honour has never succeeded against. He respectfully and kindly suggested that many associates have patient IT capabilities and that Your Honour may be minded finding someone within this description. On the earlier point of hard work, Your Honour has impressed many. An instructing solicitor said she regularly received emails at 11 p.m, midnight, 3 a.m, and 4 a.m from Your Honour, with no expectation of a reply, I should mention. This was merely Your Honour working on the issues at hand. Nevertheless, she recalled that Your Honour always arrived at court calm and in control. Your performance created strong credibility in front of juries, from a total command of the case, never mistaking evidence, or needing to correct a statement. There was no trace that Your Honour worked so hard behind the scenes. Her only questions were, when did she sleep and when did she eat? Several lawyers said moving between trials and appeals seamlessly was normal practice in your legal career. To be deeply immersed in one matter, pause for another, solve that complex problem, and immediately pick up where you left off. In one instance, Your Honour accepted a brief in which the instructing solicitor said that he had lost count after volume 40. Miraculously, Your Honour found time in between other work to quickly absorb the case, and through efficiency, astute and economic advocacy, and a highly detailed knowledge of criminal law, the defendant was acquitted. This solicitor, with whom Your Honour had worked for 15 years, remembered your first case together. His client seemed shocked at Your Honour's supposedly fresh face at the time, and in an early conference, the client tried to one-up Your Honour on a factual issue. Unfazed, immediately Your Honour corrected, and I quote, "I think you'll find if you look at page 649 in volume 4 of the brief at line 37 that the evidence is as I said." Of course, by the end of the case, this client was deeply praising your legal ability, and he was acquitted. Another lawyer found your cognitive ability like this. She can take 5,000 pages and remember them as though they were 5 pages. Despite this, many remarked on your model behaviour as a public defender, never being disparaging about another lawyer or client or any person involved in a matter. One offered that even in private he had never heard Your Honour swear, and yet neither were you boring nor timid. Outside of legal practice, he said Your Honour makes good company even better, with a lighter, funnier side as well. Through tough trials, Your Honour was a huge personal support to both instructing solicitors and fellow barristers alike, whether helping them to process the burden of complex cases and hard losses, or always keeping your door open, whatever your workload. The view from the legal profession has been one of immense thanks. As we have heard, in May 2019, Your Honour was the first woman to be elevated to the role of Senior Public Defender. Your Honour appointed 7 public defenders, 5 of them women, not through any design, you said, but from a surplus of outstanding female applicants. Whereas when Your Honour started at the private bar in 1999, you were the only woman on your floor. As an example of how meticulously Your Honour planned your career and your achievements as a public defender, you have said, and I quote, "I wasn't even aware of the public defenders when I started at the bar. The position of senior public defender is something I had no knowledge of. I was very focused on doing my work rather than trying to achieve a particular position." Everyone we spoke with in preparation for today said that Your Honour has been dedicated simply to the law your whole career. This has been your engine house. Your Honour has said your love of the law was always your focus outside of your family. So where does such talent and such dedication come from? In Your Honour's words, before the law, you had an amazing upbringing. You were fortunate to have a very loving family, and at the time and ever since, you have been endlessly appreciative of that. The incredible support from your parents and siblings is no doubt something that has helped you with your love of your own children. Your Honour also comes to this appointment having balanced raising a family and working part-time at the bar to do so, showing that huge legal success, although hard to attain, is possible whilst being dedicated to those whom you love. Given this wealth of success, it is perhaps fitting then that the moment Your Honour received the news of your appointment to this bench was the day of the 200th anniversary of this very Supreme Court. After the ceremony, you were a few hundred metres to my right in Hyde Park, looking across at this court of St James Road, where Your Honour conducted your first murder trial. It was autumn, it was warm, there was a phone call, and the world moved around you. Moments like these change our lives. Today, we dance them back in, because these are occasions that give mass and shape to the best points of our lives. Today, the sense of occasion comes from outside as much as from within this room. The legal profession is mourning the loss of you at the bar. It is possible people in this room are not more upset right now, only because somehow, despite your aversion to taking compliments, you have made to bear this public celebration of your achievements. Your Honour, from today, you will help define the boundaries of our state's law. May I end then with a view from a solicitor who has worked closely with Your Honour. She said, and I quote, "Whenever I'm in a really difficult situation in court, I simply think, okay, what would Belinda do?" Calm, listening and unflinching, or as she said, not running away, were her go-to points. Spontaneously, this solicitor ended the conversation by saying, and again I quote, "I think she is going to become a judge that will stand out in Australian legal history. I think that in 40 years' time, when students are studying the law of evidence, they're going to see this vision of Justice Rigg just like they do now with Justice Kirby. I think this is her trajectory." More apt words are not possible. On behalf of the legal profession, the more than 42,000 solicitors of this state, it is my privilege to convey the collective congratulations on Your Honour's appointment, Your Honour, as the court pleases.
Thank you. Mr McGrath. Justice Rigg.
Chief Justice, judges, former judges of this and other courts, Mr Attorney, Mr McGrath, honoured guests, friends and family. I too acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we sit, the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you, Mr Attorney and Mr McGrath, for your words that are so kind. You're amazing advocates and able to take information and put it forward in such a helpful and positive way. Thank you both very much. I would like at the outset to thank the Chief Justice and the judges and staff of this court for the very warm welcome I have received. I look forward to serving with you. Thank you, Justice Adams, for organising drinks so quickly that we beat the departure of overseas of Justice Yehia. Justice Yehia took me to lunch on my first day as a public defender and is missed today, but I know I can count on her ongoing support and friendship on her return.
and I truly hope I talked her out of watching this live today at a time which is very inconvenient where she is. I'm honoured to be taking a place in the Common Law Division made available by the retirement of Justice Richard Button. Like Justice Yehia, Justice Button was a long-serving public defender and Deputy Senior Public Defender. Justice Button has been a highly respected judge of this court for 12 years. He is a generous friend to many, including me, and has already provided me with great assistance and reassurance in this move. Looking back to the beginning, it is no understatement to say that I am always conscious of how fortunate I am to have had such a stable and loving upbringing. Mum and Dad, nothing I have done would have been possible without your love, support and guidance. Further, you demonstrated true equality in your marriage, regardless of who was working outside the home and earning money. Mum, you not working outside the home meant my siblings and I received so much support and attention. You are one of the most intelligent and aware people I know, and have always been one who ignites curiosity and fosters deep consideration and discussion. Dad, you demonstrated unwavering prioritising of family, even with a busy professional life. My siblings, Katie and Tim, have offered me friendship and support throughout my adult life, in addition to the bond of a shared childhood. I'm so blessed to have your ongoing love and encouragement. I'm also delighted to have Katie's partner Paul and children Miles and Minty here to celebrate today, and Duke watching online. You've heard that after I finished university, I had the great fortune to meet Anthony Belinda KC and commenced working for him as a research assistant while I attended the College of Law and then undertook the practical component required for admission. I was conscious at that time of the fact that this was a real turning point in my life, and I have remained thankful for that amazing introduction to life at the bar and the work of a criminal barrister. I'm so grateful for the encouragement and support given to me by Tony in making a decision to go straight to the bar without practising as a solicitor, and thank you so much for attending today. I joined Sir Owen Dixon Chambers when I started at the bar. Head of Chambers was Winston Terracini, SC, and floor clerk was and remains Ian Irvine, both of whom played an important role in my earliest years at the bar. Thank you both for coming today. It was an exhilarating time starting out practice at the bar. Sir Owen Dixon Chambers was a lively and collegiate floor, and I loved the work. I made many friendships in those years, as well as meeting my former husband, Richard Pontello, SC, and have many fond memories of my time there at the private bar. Being the only woman there when I started, it was especially good when I was joined by Elizabeth Wood, now Deputy President of the Personal Injury Commission, and Meredith Phelps, experienced legal aid solicitor who has continued in crime, and then other women such as Alyssa Moen. I know that the floor has, since the time I started there, had many, many wonderful women come through the floor. For me personally, however, the public defenders is where my true calling was. I was given a chance in January 2004 by the late Peter Zara SC, then Senior Public Defender, supported by the Honourable Peter Hidden AM KC, whom I thank deeply for being here today, before whom I had had the great fortune of appearing in my first unled murder trial in 2003 whilst at the private bar, instructed by dear Charles Abbott, criminal solicitor, who is also here today. It was the venue of that trial at the St James Road Supreme Court Complex at which I was gazing when I spoke to the Attorney-General on the 17th of May this year. At the public defenders, barristers have the opportunity for undistracted devotion to the provision of excellent service in serious criminal matters in this state. We have the luxury of being paid well, although some would no doubt be paid better at the private bar. We do not have the bother of invoices and chasing solicitors for money that private counsel have, nor any anxiety or jealousy about practice development. There is a never-ending supply of the most interesting, complex criminal work at first instance and appellate levels that is too much for the current number of public defenders to ever get through. It is run in many ways like a regular floor of barristers, with as much independence as is consistent with our being statutory office holders, and where public defenders' individual practice development is to a large extent self-directed. However, the institution is strikingly unified in its commitment to the provision of representation to disadvantaged members of our community and the advancement of excellence in the provision of broader ways, such as the wide provision of advice, education and policy work. And the camaraderie is wonderful. Chief Justice, your keynote speech at the Public Defenders Seminar in March this year, titled The Public Defenders of New South Wales, an essential arm of the administration of justice, was such an inspiration to me and so many others. It provided highly encouraging recognition of the Public Defender's work and was greatly appreciated. For me, it has been a joy to work with a group of close to 30 barristers who strive to serve in the same way I do. Many public defenders have appeared as junior counsel with me and done outstanding work, but I also have a deep knowledge of the work undertaken by all public defenders. It is an honour to have worked with you. I know our friendships and professional associations will continue, but I will miss being immersed within such a fine group of people. The public defenders were admirably led by the late Peter Zara SC for my first years, and he's remembered by all as a wonderful man and leader of the floor, then Judge of the District Court. I had the benefit of Justice Mark Irace SC being the Senior Public Defender during most of my time before appointment as Senior Public Defender, and I benefited greatly from your intellect and leadership and your flexibility around my wish to have a lot of time with my children and have a great practice. I've been assisted greatly by the 2 chambers managers and 2 floor clerks during my 20 years as a public defender. Ruth Hazelwood was the chambers manager not long ago, who contributed so much to the floor and its well-being for virtually 20 years. Alona Koenig has come in like a breath of fresh air since last October, professionally and practically managing this idiosyncratic group of people and moving the public defenders on to flourish into the next 20 years. The 2 clerks through my time, Colin Longhurst and Renee Spinks, thank you both for all that you have done. And to the support staff at the public defenders, including our clever researchers, paralegal and cadets and volunteers, thank you so much for your energy in contributing to a place of learning and advancement. Thank you to all the deputies who assisted me so well. I see so many friends and family and colleagues here. I feel so honoured to have your support. I would like to thank my former husband, Richard Pontello SC, for your friendship and our good times together, especially with our 2 beautiful children. Not many speak to their former spouse as often and with as much enjoyment as we do. I would like to thank the numerous solicitors who have entrusted me with their clients' cases and instructed me with acumen and compassion. It is an honour to me today to see solicitors of the Legal Aid Commission and private solicitors who have been of such assistance in my practice as a barrister, and I recognise the many solicitors of the Aboriginal Legal Service who have done so as well. I would also like to thank those who have presented cases from the opposite side to that which I have advanced. Our work has the potential to be so downward pulling that good relations with opponents is essential to maintaining equilibrium. I have, over my time as a barrister, especially in crime and as a public defender, truly valued the admirable work of the Crown prosecutors and DPP solicitors of this state. I am particularly grateful for the attendance today of Her Honour Tanya Smith SC, District Court Judge, and Christopher Maxwell KC, both former Crown prosecutors, much admired by me. Finally, to my immediate family. Peter, my love, everything in my life is better because of you. You make everything easier. You make everything more magical. You make everything romantic. You have enhanced my life immeasurably in ways I can't articulate. You are so principled and so deeply full of all the good values in life that nourish me. You're an inspiration as a human being, as a partner, a parent, and as a judge, and I love you. Thank you for bringing your magnificent daughter Chloe into my life. And Chloe, thank you for being here today. Leo and Luciana, you are everything to me. Both of you are spirited and full of life and love. You are noisy, affectionate, quirky, clever, messy, and funny. I admire your growing independence. You have strong characteristics that you bear in common. Some of your traits are different too, of course, and may change as you grow older. My darling boy, your thoughtful sweetness and relaxed, chill energy is so lovely to be around and absorb, as is your endless, amazing music. My precious girl, you are so vivid, imaginative and strong, and you shine like the most beautiful of jewels. Leo and Luciana, you bring me so much joy, and I'm so proud of you both. And I'm excited for your futures and ours together. You hopefully do not have to constantly catching me doing submissions and gun fingers anymore. I'm very happy and honoured to be a judge of this court. I'm grateful for the opportunity to contribute to the administration of justice in this state, in this way, and I will do my very best. Thank you all so much for being here today, and for those of you joining online also. May it please the court.
Thank you, Justice Rigg. Everyone is invited to the morning tea in the gallery, and the court will now adjourn.
All stand as the court is now adjourned.